All right, Janice Miller. One of my favorite movies from last year was Halloween. It was amazing and scary and exciting and creepy all at the same time. I also really loved Narcos Mexico. Anyway, I just read that Narcos Mexico writer Scott Teems is writing the sequel for Halloween. What are you expecting from the next film, and what do you think Teems will bring to it?
Well, first of all, this Halloween film, I'm not a Halloween fan. Not a I don't even like the original Halloween. I think it's tiredly overrated and doesn't hold up well. But almost everybody I know completely loves and adores it, and certainly all the sequels sucked and all this kind of stuff. But
except 3.
So I go
And 2.
and all of them. I go into seeing the most recent Halloween. The trailers, I thought, the trailers are good, but it's not. I really enjoyed this Halloween film. I loved this Halloween movie a lot. I thought it was really fresh. There was just enough of a wink to the audience with what they were doing, while also making it like shocking or whatever. That stuff in the bathroom, that scene in the bathroom, that gas station, like it just felt so visceral and all that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go from there. I read this stuff about this guy, Narcos Mexico, but I read a little bit more into it. I believe the dude, Teems or Teems, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his name, he really hasn't written much. I think he's got 4 credits. One of them is Narcos Mexico, but it was only 1 episode.
Right.
He wrote one. Now, I'm with you. I actually thoroughly enjoyed Narcos Mexico. Me and Ann binged the entire season when we were in Canada on Christmas vacation. Love Narcos Mexico. But he did just do the one. So I'm going to say that's not necessarily a bad thing, but not necessarily a good thing either. So right now, I am kind of agnostic when it comes to how do I feel about the choice of the writer. Neither good nor bad. It's whatever. Let's see what they do. But as far as the movie itself goes, I'm actually just quite excited that there's practical movement on getting the sequel out, because I really did like that new one. What do you think about all this, Rob?
Well, I got a bit of sports trivia and Halloween trivia all rolled into one for you.
Ooh.
The first time I watched Halloween, it was the very first pre-recorded video cassette I ever owned.
Wow.
And the first time I watched it with current Utah Jazz coach Quinn Snyder.
Really?
Who I grew up with. We went to elementary school, junior high, high school. He lived basically in my neighborhood. So, I knew him my whole life. And one day he came over. I said, Quinn, you got to check this out. And we watched it in the middle of the day. I thought it was terrifying. I loved Halloween. So I've seen Halloween like 100 times because, I showed it to every kid in my neighborhood and all that. This was there was Halloween H2O 20 years ago with Jamie Lee Curtis coming out, and the whole Halloween, it's so convoluted as a franchise. But like you, I was really dubious of this movie, and watching it it gave me this nostalgia feeling. I'm like, okay, it's like they went back and they got rid of all the weird continuity and just made it a direct sequel to the original movie, or Halloween 1 and 2, I guess, but it's really the original film, and I liked it. Like I was ready to my knives were out. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about this movie, but it was one of those movies that was made with reverence that I liked. I mean, if you're going to reboot something, the same way it's not as effective as Creed, but when I watched Creed, you could tell Ryan Coogler really loved the Rocky franchise.
You could tell.
And I really do feel, that Danny McBride and was it Glenn? I want to say Glenn Gordon Caron, but it's not Glenn Gordon Caron. I think they did it's an honorable sequel to Halloween. But I think it would be really cool to drop Michael Myers behind enemy lines into the cartels and just have Michael Myers just take out a Mexican drug cartel, because wouldn't that be cool?
They just got him in this giant cage on a plane, and then they just open the back of the plane, drop it with a parachute and a timer that unlocks the door. It's like, don't worry, there won't be any more of the cartels in 3 weeks from now. There will be. I want to see that movie now.
Or the cartels turn Michael Myers and figure out a way to send him back over the border.
They get him addicted to coke. Yes.
Yeah, so they supercharge him.
You guys are turning him into Winter Soldier.
That's right. Mike Myers is the Winter Soldier. He's the new Winter Soldier. I got to see that.